going to do the coffee cozies today, and it's a really quick pattern. And basically you cast on with waste yarn, and you use the small Addi, the Addi Express. And when you cast on, you're just going to run a few rows of waste yarn, so it's real quick. Make sure your yarn don't get tangled. Okay, that should be enough. Usually only takes 4 or 5. And then you want your main color, and you want it to be a contrasting color to your waste yarn. That way the stitches are easy to see and easy to pick up. And you just start off at the black needles where you began. You want to leave yourself a pretty decent sized tail because we're going to crochet the ends. So I say about an arm's length, well, an arm span, maybe 2 arms length. You can always add more if you want. It's just kind of a pain if you run out. So I try to give myself enough so I don't have to worry. And you're going to do 15 rows of your main color. I'll see you in a second. Okay, now we got the 15 rows done. I usually leave it attached to the skein since we're going to finish it off with crochet. So you're going to want a different color to cast off with, like a normal cast off. You thread it through. I'm going to turn it a little bit so it's easier. You take your yarn out of your carriage. Just keep an eye on it so it doesn't get tangled. And I'm just picking up the stitches as I go. Okay, and there is our soon-to-be coffee cozy. Okay, this next step only involves single crochet, and basically what we're doing is we are going to close off all these loose loops with a little nice stitch. So find your end where your string is that you still have attached to your skein, and you're going to want to pick it up with your hook. Then you're going to move on to the next one, except chain 1 first. And so as we move on to the next one, we're just grabbing, pulling through, and pulling through the 2 loops. So single crochet. And we're going to do that and pick up all the loops. Okay, here we are with just 1 left. I'm going to pick it up, do single crochet, and then this is where I first started. You can see it's my end here. I'm just going to basically find a nice little spot, and I'm going to do a slip stitch where you just pull through, and instead of yarn over and pull through again, you're just going to pull the first loop through the second. And then I'm going to cut it from my skein and pull through to tighten it. And then from here you can pull out your waste yarn, and you'll see that it's all secure, all the stitches are secure in your single crochet. And we're going to repeat the same thing at the bottom. Obviously it looks a little different because we have a couple rows of waste yarn here. So you just find where you left off, it's where you started, and you're going to go to the loop right behind it. So your tail is here, and then you're going to go to the first loop and pick it up. And here's where I chain one, and then I find the next group. You'll notice there's a pattern. Every loop you're going to pick up, and you're just going to repeat the process. You're going to pull through and do single crochets. So pick up your stitch, yarn over, pull through, yarn over, pull through, all of them for single crochet. I'll see you back when you have it finished. Okay, here we are at the last stitch. Just going to pick it up, yarn over, pull through, yarn over, pull through two, finish my last single crochet. Now I'm just going to find a nice little spot in my first stitch to tuck this and do a slip stitch, and then pull it through to make a knot. And now here's the fun part. You get to cut all this waste yarn off. I find it best when you look at it, if you find where it goes into a loop, because if you cut that right there, it's actually the two pieces. You'll have one on each side where you just pull it, and you pull this one, and it just falls right off into a big chunk. Okay, now this is what we have, and it's starting to look real good. And as you'll see, it slides really well onto these type of to-go cups, even reusable cups, tumblers, I believe they're called, is, you know, the reusable ones that you can fill up. Now we just gotta weave in our tails and then decorate it. Okay, with our tails weaved in, now we can decide what kind of button to add. I got a couple. I don't buy buttons often, so when I find them cheap, I stock up. These actually are upcycled buttons I cut off of a sweater that I bought that I no longer needed, and I upcycled the sweater into something else, and I saved the buttons from it. So I think I'm going to go ahead and add these. Add whatever kind of embellishments you want. However, I would stray away from buttons with a protruding back because they don't lay flat or very easy on the coffee cup. Buttons that have that kind of back that don't lay flat, and they just don't sit well on top of the coffee cup. They make it stick out, and for me it looks weird. So there you have it. Pretty simple and easy to do. Took about 15 minutes. I guess it could take longer if you can't decide what button to pick. But they're super cute. They slip on super easy. And they really do work. Cups like this, I got this at the dollar store. And it was 2 for $1. And the heat just goes right through the cups. And this really helps keep your hands protected. And they're super cute. You can't beat it. I'll post some pictures. I'll add them to the video of extra ideas and ways you can decorate.